Hey, what's up, you guys? Just wanted to hip you to another news update. Another news update. If you guys didn't know about this, let me get my camera adjusted, kind of right here. But look, there's a looming catastrophe. They're saying global food shortage, all because of this war and everything going on. So I'm just reading from Yahoo News, you know. So, do your own research, but there's a looming food shortage, and this the real deal food shortage. It's not like the fake stuff, like when a storm come and everybody go buy the bread and the milk up. This is the real deal that's coming. So make sure you guys stock up, keep your money up, because prices are going to skyrocket. But let's go through this article real quick, and this is via news.yahoo.com. The looming catastrophe, catastrophe of the global food shortage. Russia's war on Ukraine has sent food prices skyrocketing, leaving millions at risk of going hungry. Here's everything you need to know. So make sure you guys listen closely. Why the food shortage? The Russian invasion and the sanctions on Moscow that followed have dramatically reduced the production of crops and fertilizer in Russia and Ukraine, driving vulnerable areas in the Middle East and Africa to the brink of famine. The two large countries are both major producers of wheat, corn, and barley, while Russia and Belarus produce much of the world's fertilizer. And you guys know what they use fertilizer for farming. Okay, let's continue on. Let's see. Prices of those goods had already been trending upward due to global inflation and shortages caused by the COVID-19, as well as the rise in gas prices that increased the cost of shipping. Now the war has made virtually every component of the global supply chain far more expensive. And you guys remember, right now Shanghai is going through a lockdown. Shanghai is where all the Chinese goods come from. So it's like a double whammy, triple whammy. Supermarket prices are expected to rise by as much as 20%, while at least 44 million people are at risk of famine. For them, the war is a catastrophe on top of a catastrophe, said David Beasley. Let's see. We never would have dreamed anything like this would ever happen. So the prices you see now at the supermarket are not the 20% increase. This is what they call normal built-in prices. You about to see a 20% increase on top of what you see right now. Let's continue on. Are Russia and Ukraine still exporting food? Many Ukrainian farmers have gone to the front lines to fight, and the farms they left are being ravaged by Russian shelling. That means Ukraine's spring harvest of barley, corn, and other crops, projected to be a strong season before the war, will be less than half of the 2021 level. The ministry said Ukraine banned exports of wheat and other food last month to secure its own wartime supplies, but at this point it can't really export anyway. Russian warships are blocking access to the Black Sea ports and have bombed at least 3 civilian ships carrying Ukrainian goods. Ukrainian farmers will likely also miss their coming planting season, and those who are still in the fields have scraped export crops in favor of foods that can be quickly harvested to feed civilians and soldiers. So nothing that's going to take a long time to grow. Russia's own ability to export, meanwhile, has been hamstringed by the sanctions. Can't the loss of food be made up? There's another question. So if you got that question, we're going to answer that. While the two countries generate about 30% of the world's exported wheat. Ain't that crazy though, right? Ukraine and Russia generate 30% of the world's wheat. So this all, if you really look at this thing, man, it tells you where, America gets a lot of this stuff from. America don't really get a lot of this stuff from here. It really don't. That's why the prices are like they are. So now you get ready to see what it's like when the American produce it, because America's a money hungry. So it's getting ready to be crazy. A loaf of bread is gonna be a luxury. And that's what it says there. It was that while the two countries generate about 30% of the world's exported wheat, That's still less than 1% of the world's total wheat. And other producers such as India grew more wheat last fall in anticipation of a Black Sea conflict, but it takes time to recipient countries to rearrange their supply chain. Panicked investors have sent wheat prices soaring by as much as 50%, and civilians have resorted to hoarding, particularly in Arab countries that depend on imports for staple foods. Probably talk about Dubai over there. Those countries are already rotating. Egypt, which relies on Ukraine and Russia, are about 80% of its wheat imports, has now fixed the price of bread, while Tunisia is limiting sales of semolina used in couscous. How bad will things get? You want to ask? I know you've been asking that while you're watching this video, and I thank you for watching. How bad will things really get? Let's find out. Arab countries fear the worst. They remember that the high food prices of the Great Recession were a major factor in Arab Spring protests that erupted a few years later. In conflict-ridden Yemen, 31,000 people already face famine conditions, and that number could increase fivefold this year. But the pain will be felt elsewhere. European supermarkets are low on flour and sunflower oil, while Indonesia is almost out of its beloved Indomie instant noodles. Oh yeah, okay, they love them noodles made with Ukrainian wheat. Cameroon's bakeries are seeing long lines for bread. Somalia is facing its worst drought in decades, but can't turn to Egypt imports to make up the difference, cause they short too. Okay. Why is fertilizer more expensive? Let's answer that question. So I know I'm answering all the questions you guys want to know. I got them right here for you. Why is fertilizer more expensive? Russia and Belarus are major exporters of potash, ammonia, urea, and other crucial fertilizer components used everywhere from Iowa to Zimbabwe. Before the war, the U.S. has already had sanctioned Belarusian potash because of dictator Alexander Lukashenko's, I think I'm saying them names right, human rights abuses. When Russia blocked its own fertilizer exports last month, farmers around the world began scrambling, cutting back on planting and switching to manure. It's just kind of a shot for the grain system, you know. A wheat farmer in Washington State, it's not all rosy down on the farm. Brazil, the world's largest producer of coffee, soybeans, and sugar, imports nearly 30% of its fertilizer from Russia, and Belarus is now considering opening up protected indigenous lands to potash mining. Oh, y'all heard that? Did y'all get it with that? Coffee. Coffee is about to go up. The price of coffee is about to rise. So they just told you that because they need fertilizer for the coffee plants to grow. So that's going up. So they got to raise the price of the coffee. Yes, sir. What can be done? The Biden administration says in talks with Canada and Europe countries to ship more food aid to hungry countries that help farmers boost crop yields. France is considering food vouchers for its citizens, while the United Kingdom has cut gas and diesel taxes to ease pressure on deliveries. China, meanwhile, has been buying up U.S. soybeans, corn, and other supplies. See, China got the money, so they not even messing with their stuff. They buying all our stuff up before they even get their stuff, because they good, you know. It's crazy. All right, let's go ahead. Farm equipment in peril. The war is worsening a global semiconductor chip shortage. So we got semiconductor chip shortage, food shortage. Yeah, that's okay. We already know about that, about the computers and chips and cars. But all this information right here I just put out is readily available right here on Yahoo News. I'm going to put a link to this article in the description of this video. Make sure you guys keep staying tuned. Hit that like button, hit that bell, so you know when I give you all the latest update. Hey, they telling you right now, go out and get your food, buy your deep freezers, buy 2 deep freezers if you have to, stock your money up. Let's go, baby.